Hey guys, it's the Bombay chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Get Curried. Well, today I'm making one of my most favorite starters, and that is chicken, salt and pepper. As the name sounds, yes, it's chicken, salt and pepper. Let's begin. Well, salt and pepper are these two things, or rather two ingredients. Of course, one is a mineral, the other one is a spice, and these are generally used in conjunction. They kind of pair well together because 99% of the time these are used so that they can kind of bring out the flavor of the other ingredients, which is, I think, fantastic. Well, first things first is to actually process the chicken, and when I say salt and pepper, I really mean it, because that's going to become the predominant flavor towards the end of the recipe. But till then, I'm going to use salt and pepper in the required quantity, but that's about it. To begin with, let's first make the batter, which is actually the marination mix, the batter as well as the flavor. For this, I'm taking refined flour, all-purpose flour, whatever you call it in your part of the world. To make the chicken nice and crisp, I'm adding in cornstarch. To this, for some added flavor, I'm using ginger and garlic paste. Well, of course, you can use chopped ginger and chopped garlic as well, but I just feel paste works perfect. To this, let's add in a tablespoon of light soya sauce, and this is only for flavor, this is not for color, because if you see, the chicken really in this case is kind of off-white in color, and there's a lot of color in this recipe, and that color comes from spring greens, it comes from peppers, capsicum or bell peppers, whatever you call it. I'm using all the three colors. To the marination, I'm adding in salt, and this is only as per the chicken for now, and just a touch of black pepper, freshly crushed, because of course this recipe calls for this as a predominant flavor. To bring all of this together, I'm cracking in a whole egg. Let's mix all of this together to begin with, because this needs to be lump free, and only if required we'll add in some water, which Sachin will give me now. Once all of this kind of comes together, we'll add in some water, and this is to make an absolute thick paste. I'm just going to add in water as much required to make a thick paste, because remember the fact that this recipe has boneless chicken breast, and what will happen is the moisture that's in the chicken will kind of make this runny. We don't want that. Let's whip this up till it's absolutely lump free. And once it reaches this kind of consistency, once this kind of forms a ribbon stage, now if you see, these are the ribbons that are getting formed. Once this kind of starts forming, we need to add in the pieces of chicken. Now this is chicken which is actually cut into little dices, and that's exactly how we're looking at, because this is a starter that's actually like popcorn, if I can say. Chicken popcorns, kind of similar. Let's transfer all of this. Let's mix all of this together, and at this stage actually you can also keep this in a refrigerator in case you want to make it till this stage in advance. By all means you can do that. Well, actually you can also progress a little further, fry it, drain it and keep it in the refrigerator. Well, that is also a progressive stage that you can lead up to, and once you know your guests have arrived, your party is beginning to roll, get in the kitchen, toss it up in a wok. This is ready. Mix all of this. Once the oil heats up, the next step is to fry this till they're crisp, golden brown and well cooked. What you need to do is take in like a huge clump together, hold it on top of the oil, of course at a little bit of a distance, and then release a little at a time. Of course, if you can manage one at a time, nothing like it, because you don't need clusters. You need these to individually kind of come up. What you need to do is keep moving your hand in all the directions and keep pinching. What happens in that case is all of it just kind of falls individually. Well, little tricks, little tips in the kitchen, but trust me, they go a long way. The chicken pieces are fried and ready, and if you notice, they're not golden brown in color, they're just kind of beginning to turn brown. But they are nice and crisp and crunchy at the same time, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Similarly, let's fry the next batch of chicken. Our chicken is fried and ready. Let's move on to the next step, and that is wok tossing it with some capsicum, with some onions, salt and pepper. But first things first, just a touch of oil. The oil needs to be hot at this stage because what happens in this case is there's a lot of oil which is already there in the pieces of chicken. The moment this hits the wok, you will start seeing that it kind of gets shiny on the outside, and that's not what we're looking at, because that's where the entire taste, the consistency, the texture, everything will go for a toss. What needs to be done? Simple tricks. The oil needs to be scorching hot. We add the onions, we add the capsicum, we add the chicken, toss, 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 salt, pepper, straight on the table. As simple as that. Once you see that the oil in the pan starts literally smoking like this, we start adding in the onions and the capsicum. Quick few tosses on high flame. You should still be able to hear this. Next is the chicken. Well, Chinese is something that you need to be really quick at while stir frying. If you see, you're still kind of hearing a lot of this sound, and that's exactly what we're looking at. To this, lots and lots and lots of freshly cracked black pepper, because like I said, that is the predominant flavor. And with this, table salt. Well, I'm using table salt, nevertheless, you can also use rock salt or salt which has flakes, and that when you actually bite onto, my mouth is already watering, tastes absolutely wonderful. Well, toss, 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 you're still hearing it? Of course, the flame. With this, ladies and gentlemen, your chicken, salt and pepper is done and ready, and this now straight goes on the dinner table. With this, now you would know why this is so popular and why this is a world favorite, because this is simple, quick and absolutely easy, not just for you and me, but also for the restaurants world over. So next time when you order this, thank salt, thank pepper, and on that note, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to get Curried. Bye for now.